Yeah, he have potential. He have a lot of skills. He have a lot of potential to be one of the biggest star in boxing.
Do you think it's like a mental thing when you have all that pressure and you go in there and you get like, some would say you got like embarrassed kind of?
It's hard. It's obviously it's hard. But,
I mean, that was a big fight for him to take too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess they could have both dodged
Do you
that.
think that it was too early to take that fight, or do you think it was
no,
smart?
what I think he need to do is take that loss and learn from that loss.
He's still growing.
Right.
He's still learning.
Now.
It's no different from in the past. You'll see Ryan in the past. I've said certain things. Not really, young fighters with the wrong way when you say certain things sometimes. Even like a while back when it's called divide and conquer. When I talked about like YouTube. I said
I don't cry about you.
I'm saying if that was his hustle, if he got a lot of followers from wherever he got them from, that's his hustle.
Right.
And he's supposed to say, you can't knock my hustle no matter where I got him from.
Right.
I wish things would just be held accountable and then just held by the rules, just so there's a stand. Not hating on the fight, because I actually think Ryan Garcia knocks out Barios. Is horrible as a champion, maybe the worst champion I've ever seen in my life.
Everyone thinks this fight is easy, but one mistake here could end Ryan Garcia's entire career. Watch closely. Boxing experts believe Ryan Garcia versus Mario Barrios could be a very exciting fight. Most analysts expect a close contest where neither fighter pulls away early. The fight may stay competitive until the later rounds, keeping fans watching every second until the final bell rings.
What are we expecting from Ryan and Barrios? You beat Ryan recently. Dan was very outspoken about how he looked bad in that fight. What kind of Ryan do we expect coming into that fight versus Mario Barrios?
I don't know. What are you guys all expecting?
There's something that keeps on saying, and I kind of agree to it, that we're uncertain what kind of Ryan we're going to get, right? Like what kind of, how's he going to see him come into the fight? Conor Ben said that. I've said that we don't know what to expect for what kind of Ryan. If we get a Ryan, obviously focused and training, he could beat a good fight versus Barrios. So what do you think?
I don't know what I think. Like I said,
gotta give me something, Rolly.
I tell you, for all we know, he might still have PTSD from me.
Think so?
Yeah.
Would you come out on a stream with him? Because now he's streaming. Would you be on a stream with Ryan?
Oh, sounds like the bank account's running dry.
Ryan Garcia's biggest advantage is his lightning-fast hand speed. Few fighters in boxing today can match how quickly he throws punches. His left hook is especially dangerous and has ended fights in a split second, making him a constant knockout threat.
Ryan wins, though. What will be the reason? Would you say speed, power, timing, or IQ?
I think speed, power. Ryan's a great fighter when he seems to be all together. But in all honesty, he shouldn't be fighting for a world title again. He just lost, and now he's fighting for a world title.
So would you say that? So do you like this fight for Ryan right now? Yes or no? You basically just.
I mean, if I was on his team, yeah, I would love it. But if I'm not on his team, I'm just being honest. He should not be fighting for a world title, and he's just coming off a loss. But the reality is what I said before. Social media is the reason why. Because Mario Barrios, even though he's a champion, he needs Ryan Garcia to get a big payday.
However, former fighter Greg Hackett has raised serious questions about Ryan Garcia's readiness. He feels Ryan may not be fully focused or prepared for this fight. Hackett calls it a true 50-50 matchup and says Ryan will need more than just his famous left hook to win, pointing out concerns about discipline and commitment.
I think Ryan and Barrios is actually a good fight, because when have we seen Ryan in the ring with somebody his height? You know what I'm saying? So I think we're looking at a real boxing match. Could he overwhelm Barrios? Yeah, but where is he mentally? Ryan Garcia has been spending time with YouTubers and streamers and like that. He ain't really been training. So what type of Ryan are we getting? I mean, are we going to get the front runner Ryan who go in there and try his best for 2-3 rounds and then bullshit for the rest of the fight? Or is we going to get a Ryan that's really trying to go in there and do damage. Barrios at the same time, he questions himself at times, and I think that's his biggest downfall. He get in that ring, and sometimes he questions his own abilities. So therefore, that could either make for a great fight or it could be a bullshit fight.
Trainer Robert Garcia believes this is a good fight for Ryan and says he has the power, speed, and natural talent to become a world champion against Mario Barrios. At the same time, he has openly mentioned worries about Ryan's preparation and current training situation.
It's a good matchup for Ryan. I think Ryan has the skills, the power, the speed to actually go and become champion. But there's a few things that I see that might not be in his favor. And look, Barrios is dedicated. I know him. He's actually a good friend, a good person. And they chose him because they think Ryan has everything it takes to become champion, to become the world champion, because they're already planning on huge fights with Devin Haney and whatever out there for.
Robert Garcia also noted that Ryan leaving elite trainers like Eddie Reynoso, Joe Goossen, and Derek James could hurt him. Training with his father may limit growth at the world-class level, even though Robert still feels the matchup makes sense for Ryan's career path.
But the fact that Ryan, has gone through 3 top trainers that would have done a great job, Eddie Reynoso, Joe Goossen, and Derek James.
Correct.
And he's not training with neither of them. He's training with his dad, which I'm not saying the dad is not, the dad brought him through the amateurs, but when he left his dad or went to seek a different trainer, before he came back to that, he went through 3 different trainers.
Wow.
That means what do you mean? All 3 are not good enough to, they're all 3
Here's the question. Did Ryan Garcia ever allow those trainers to be the boss?
That's why he's back with his dad, because he's the boss. That's why.
Yeah.
Look, Joe Goossen, I know Joe Goossen. My brother used to train with him. He's not going to just let you get away with stuff like that. Derek James shouldn't either. Eddie Reynoso doesn't need. He's made so much money with Canelo that if you want to come to me, it's going to be under my rules. And if that didn't work, then Ryan's back. So that's I give that big advantage to Barrios to even pull that.
Ryan Garcia's coaching journey adds another layer to this fight. He previously trained under Joe Goossen, who is now working with Mario Barrios. This creates a unique situation, as Goossen understands Ryan's strengths, weaknesses, and fighting habits very well.
This is an interesting dynamic. Ryan Garcia, when he was coming up through the amateurs, it was mostly him and his dad going to tournaments and Ryan learning there. But he got to Los Angeles, he got to work with Joe Goossen at 10 Goose Gym. This was around, I think, the time where Ryan was 17 years old, and Joe ended up being his coach for a while. Ryan ended up leaving, going to work with Canelo, then going to work with Derek James, and then coming back to Joe for a little bit. And I think now he's just trained by his dad for this fight. So there's been a lot of back and forth for this fight, because now Joe Goossen is training Mario Barrios, who previously had worked with Bob Santos for the last couple of fights. But the dynamic being Joe Goossen knows everything probably there is to know about Ryan Garcia from training him for so long. Garcia knows everything there is to know about Joe, or at least how Joe coaches, what he's going to try to look to implement with Barrios toward Ryan Garcia. It's both guys knowing their biggest secrets, they're knowing their greatest weapons and how to prepare for each. It's going to be a bit of a check.
That personal history became clear during the press conference. Ryan Garcia and Joe Goossen exchanged playful but sharp words, adding tension and emotion to the build-up. This moment increased motivation for Ryan and added extra drama for fans following the fight.
First found out that Joe was going to go ahead and train Mario Barrios, I was taken back. I'm not going to lie. I was thinking, well, what the heck's going on here? Why would a coach that trained my son all of a sudden turn around and train somebody else to go against my son? He told me a while back that he's done this in the past. He would train someone, then later on he would go against them. Again, I think it's not right, but maybe it's something he has to prove, or it's just an ego thing. But I also remember that he told me specifically that when Ryan is 100%, no one can beat him. And I'm going to tell you this right now, Ryan is 100%.
Former champion Chris Algieri explains that boxing often rewards popularity more than performance. He says fighters like Ryan Garcia can still get big opportunities despite recent losses. Algieri also points out that Mario Barrios has weaknesses at welterweight, making him a favorable target for high-profile matchups.
Look at it, Chris, this idea that selective matchmaking here, that you want an opportunity at 147 pounds. 147 is not, the prince of titles like it once was. But this idea that Barios, to Paulie's point, might be the most vulnerable person in the mix. This idea that obviously he's targeting a shot at 147. What do you think of it?
Well, I mean, everything the champ said is absolutely right. In terms of this fight and it being made, it's already a black eye on boxing. You got a guy who's coming off a loss. You got a guy who hasn't won a fight at 147. Not to mention, we didn't mention this yet, he's got a drug scandal in the middle of that. So it's not even that he's just hasn't been winning and has proved himself at this level. He's literally cheated to get here and been caught and was suspended for it. But this is boxing, like the champ said, and it's unfortunate that we reward people who fail up, and just because they're popular, just because they put butts in seats. And Ryan does do that. And listen, I know, champ, you think that Ryan is going to knock Barios out. He might, but he also might fumble the bag again, and he might pull a Rollies and go out there and throw 7 punches around and end up losing to a guy like Barios.
Maybe throw 7.
Paulie Malignaggi has joked about Mario Barrios' low punch output in fights. He laughs that if Barrios and Ryan Garcia both throw very few punches, the fight could somehow end in another draw. While exaggerated, the joke highlights concerns about Barrios' inactivity.
7 punches around, this will be the most boring title fight in fight history. Mario Barrios throws 4 punches around when it's convenient for him too, as he did against Pacquiao.
This brings my next point. You cut me off wherever you said. Do we bet draw on this fight? Because Barrios has
Barrios back-to-back draws?
Back-to-back triple draws. It'll be he had a draw against Pacquiao, and then he had a draw against Ramos, and now if he fights Ryan and they go out there and they combine total 50 punches in a 12-rounder, we could get a third draw.
I hope Barrios is investing his money well, at least, because he's definitely made more money than his ability has come to show. But I'm always happy if a guy can at least take care of himself. I hope Barrios is at least investing his money well, because
experts often compare Ryan Garcia's wins over fighters like Oscar Duarte and Luke Campbell with Barrios' record. Many argue Garcia's victories may actually be more impressive, as those opponents were technically skilled and dangerous. In contrast, Barrios is sometimes seen as a champion who benefited from favorable matchups.
Look, Ryan is got so much power and speed that if Ryan does prepare himself and Ryan does pick the right trainer to come up with a good game plan, and Ryan follows it, because I'm not saying he's never had great trainers. He's had great trainers, but if he doesn't follow the instructions, and if he doesn't follow the game plan, then there's nothing nobody could do. If Ryan does follow the game plan and disciplines to put up a great fight, he's got all the tools to win and win impressively. But we don't know. We don't know what Ryan we're gonna see.
Coach Garcia, who's the kid that you said trains in your gym that Ryan has a knockout win over? He's been on a pretty good roll.
Duarte.
Oscar Duarte.
Yeah, Duarte.
Oscar Duarte. That was his last win.
I feel like Duarte is a better fighter than Barrios. I feel like Garcia does have wins on his record that are better than Barrios, where he didn't fail drug tests, and that is the Duarte fight, and also even Luke Campbell. I would think would be better. Poor Luke Campbell never got to be a world champion, but his title shots came against Linares and Lomachenko. So that's why he was never a world champion. You get a guy like Barrios. I mean, a lot more guys will become world champions. I think Luke Campbell's a better fighter than Barrios as well. If you put him head to head in that stylistic match.
Even so, boxing is not just about resumes. Styles make fights. While Ryan may have faced tougher opponents, how he handles Barrios' specific style remains a big question. This highlights boxing's ongoing debate about talent, opportunity, and whether champions are always the most deserving.
Mario Barrios versus Ryan Garcia. Who you got in that fight?
Oh man, you know what? It's a difficult decision because it depends on what Ryan shows up. If the explosive, fast, and strong Ryan shows up, he's got a really good chance.
He's got it. He's the champion.
However, if
Barrios got the belt.
Mario Barrios uses his experience, which he has, and we see the Ryan that fought Rolly, for example,
Right.
then Barrios would win.
Okay, so
So it kind of falls on Ryan, which Ryan shows up to fight.
if Ryan's on his game, you got Ryan?
I got Ryan.
Hey, you're a class act. Good luck on the. Hopefully, I think you're going to get into the International Hall of Fame.
Appreciate it.
You're the man. Thank